Oh, hey, didn't see either. It's Tuesday, or as I like to call it, Black Clover Day. I wish the CEO of calendars would finally get in on that. I'm tired of writing it in myself. But you caught me in the middle of one of my Black Clover episode preps. First, we do this, then we do this, then finally, we do that. And now we're ready to begin. Oh, I forgot to turn down the subtitles. Black Clover, everyone's favorite anime and manga that starts with the word black and ends with the word clover, started serialization and Weekly Shonen Jump in 2015, but actually debuted as a one-shot in 2014 with a few changes like designs and locations being shown, but that's neither here nor there. The goal for Black Clover, at least to Yuki Tabata, was to make Berserk, but for shonen. I hate to be the one to tell him he failed, but I mean, come on. They got on a boat and got off in just a week. That's not even close to the 7 years Berserk took. Reception for the manga was mixed, which is common for this topic. One reviewer said it was like Naruto with some fairy tale added for flavor. Don't worry, I covered up the fairy tale part. See? Quality. Others praise the humor, but still put this insult on it that I just had the hardest time scrubbing off. And one critic listed Black Clover as one of the worst comic books of 2016. But not #1, baby! Opinions for the anime weren't much better. Crunchyroll advertised Black Clover as the new king of shonen when people already kinda decided My Hero Academia took that spot. So, a pretty tone-deaf way of advertising and not a stellar first 1, 2, 17 episodes, the fanbase's opinion was more or less like, unoriginal! Despite the mixed reception, Black Clover is far from unsuccessful. With over 10 million manga sales as of 2020, there is quite a bit of side material for the series. Like a spin-off chibi manga called Asa's Road to Wizard King, which I for the life of me can't find anywhere. There is also the chibi anime that is disconnected from that manga called Squishy Black Clover. I've never checked this out either, but I'm pretty sure it has a legal case against God of High School. There is also a Black Clover game, which gets to join the pile of games that I bought day one. Huh. Why did that stack of games go down in value? I really enjoyed it, but you could hit me with a Black Clover themed bat and I would be a pretty big fan, so take that with a grain of salt. It had an interesting story that may or may not be canon. I mean, Black Clover is no stranger in putting in canon material outside the source material like the light novel that explained where Fanzella came from, but I don't know. Details just don't line up, but it's still a fun time, though it can be cleared really damn fast. I mean, it's neat that you get to replay all the levels as whatever other characters that are in it, and Yami has his own side story, but it's alright at best and an environmental hazard at worst. The story mode was kinda half-baked because the game was primarily a multiplayer game and no advertising. The series wasn't exactly too popular at the time, literally a Naruto game of the same genre coming out that same year. Yeah, the servers are pretty empty. The gameplay is pretty fun though, so it's worth it if you're a Black Clover fan and find this game in a bargain bin somewhere. I'm a Black Clover fan and paid $60 for it and I only cry occasionally. There is also a manga of the game's story, so there's that if you're interested enough. There is also a mobile game and that figures. This section was supposed to be about Black Clover being successful. The most interesting thing about Black Clover though is how much the reception of the series mirrors Asta's reputation. It started out as a laughingstock and just wouldn't stop until it somehow won over the respect of at least a broad anime community. It took time and yeah, the start isn't exactly the most appealing, but it's found its own slot into a new big three. With all that being said, let's hop into the first chapter and see how well it goes with hooking the reader. We open with how the 4th Hokage defeated the Nine Tails, and we get to see our location, meet our main character. We see him trying to propose to this nun and he gets fisted. The word I was looking for was punched. I don't think page-by-page summaries are for me. Punched. It was punched. He got punched. In my opinion, the first chapter of Black Clover does an incredible job at capturing the themes of an oppressive royal society that is dependent on magic. And a variety of magic and how it can be used, like how wind can be manipulated, chain magic can tie people down, and in general, anti-magic. We also get very solid character introductions that really demonstrate how at least two of the main characters, Asta and Yuno, act. Throughout the first volume, we get a whole sample platter of what the series has in store for you, like general themes of not giving up, and it introduces the characters beautifully. Okay, but the early series is what's criticized so much, so what is the matter with it? Somehow less than you'd think, but more than you'd expect. You aren't going to believe me, but Black Clover has some depth to it. The characters change, develop, you learn more about them. Black Clover is not afraid to start the path of permanently changing a character. Like making the generic ladies man stop having the big horny or making a crazy fighter actually display fear for the first time. So what's the issue? The series really, and I mean really took its time to show us at first. We got village location, just shouting about not giving up and not solving everyone's problems. From a critical angle, it could look like the blueprints of a shonen story just turned into a full manga.
Yeah, who's gonna read a blue manga? Where are they gonna get that ink?
But the world becomes so much more open and the characters change so damn much. In terms of locations, each kingdom is very unique but in different ways. Like the Heart Kingdom and the Clover Kingdom are so different at just a glance, like you can tell they are run by different people and it isn't just different unique places within the walls of a country. There are also smaller civilizations that are just so damn cool, like the village that exists underwater. I'm honestly just surprised it got a Walmart down there. We even have characters that can only have interesting backstories based on how big this world is. Like how Vanessa, the mage that uses thread magic, escaped from a small country not in the format of other kingdoms called the cleverly named Forest of Witches. Between you and me, the name went over my head at first, but that's because witches live in that forest.
Oh my god, I get it now.
I mean, hell, there are even RPG-like dungeons full of loot and interesting items, and why the hell did we get an Overwatch clone for a Black Clover game and not something that uses this? Another incredible thing about Black Clover is how well it maintains its hype throughout the series, almost never stopping to take a break, always going in the direction to have a bigger fight with more intense action on a grander scale. Like, if you're looking for a show or a manga to binge watch and not get tired, Black Clover is perfect for you. To give an idea of how hyped the series is, 3 times the show played the first opening in the series during a fight scene. Can your body even contain that much hype?
I don't know, but mine can't. Or maybe this is just from neighbors slamming their door in my face whenever I try to suggest them Black Clover.
That being said, while a lot of the fights are great, why are most of them just some strong guy standing there and people slowly finding a way to deal damage? Not every fight's like that. A lot of them are intense and dynamic, but when it comes to just ending an arc...
Man, I totally won this. There isn't gonna be like some last minute revelation that you realize that can be, wait, why are you running at me?
Regardless, Black Clover just knows how to get you invested in a shallow hype kind of way, but it never lets you go. There is rarely a de-escalation, except when Studio Period decided, haha, you're a filler, no more momentum. Cafe date. Okay, fine, you can have an amazing fight, but just as a treat. Black Clover is an amazing series that was able to win over the anime community. While it did have hiccups here and there, like starting with rough pacing at first and not having the best animation for a while, being passable at best, its incredible characters, settings, and when the pacing started, its intense momentum was able to overturn whatever gripes people had with the series to turn it into a current shonen mainstay. Also, Yami's like one of the best anime mentor characters of all time. Dear Lord, get a load of this incredible man. But that being said, Black Clover is worth checking out. Take it from me, I've never made a bad life decision. 1 second.
Yes, hello, is this Mr. Fayko, first name It's?
Is this about a credit card?
Yes.
Then no, it's not. Let me rephrase. I've never made a bad life decision that legally changing my name couldn't fix.